Hey everybody. Well, if you're looking for barbecue content, just skip this video. Originally I wanted to make this YouTube channel about different things that I do. I'm very involved in barbecue right now and wanting to do barbecue business to make some income. Hence the other videos where I built a smoker and modified a smoker and then did quite a few cooks. But the reason I named this channel Wayland's Works is one, I couldn't think of a clever name, and two, I just intended to record some things that might help people. So in this video, I wanted to kind of show what I was doing with the install of some underglow lights on my 2014 Chevy Silverado. I had them installed already, and they stopped working right, so I'm installing a new set. The other set that I installed actually was long enough, and here's the type of connector that these lights had in between each segment. So I started out with basically a head unit, or the controlling box, that I wired up into my fuse box. I'll show you that and show you how I did that. And it worked good for a while, but these connectors, they got, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that, but they got corroded, and so they stopped working. And at one point I clipped the connectors and just spliced the wires and heat shrunk it back together, and it worked okay for a little while. I was trying to do it all underneath the truck to do the repair, since everything was already kind of glued to the truck. Would have been a lot easier up on a workbench or something like that. But anyways, it's probably a $30 set that ran me for about a year. And so I pulled that set off, and I'm installing another set. So if you've been curious about how to install a set, I'm going to show you some of the things I'm doing here. It'd be slightly different for different vehicles. One of the things that I'm doing is a full-size truck. Not an extremely long bed. I think it's the 5'7" bed. But I do need lights. I want lights at the front, under the front bumper, at the rear, under the rear bumper, and on the two sides. That's where I had them installed before anyway. So you've got a good general glow around the bottom of your truck. So this time, when I needed to buy a new set, I paid more attention. I got a set that had the wires attached in one kind of strand, no connectors. So each group of LED lights is just on one continuous cable. Now this is trash. I'm going to throw that away. I'm installing a new set. Now I'm using Govee. This is the product I'm using this time, and the model number is H6184-0A1, if I'm reading that correctly. I'll try to add a screenshot. Oh yeah, the model is H6184. I'll try to add a screenshot of where I purchased it, or from Amazon, of the item information when I purchased it. So this seemed to be like it would be a little bit better. Now I'm not trying to spend lots. Like I said, the last set was $30, lasted me about a year, I think, maybe longer, I don't know. But I don't want to spend a whole bunch on it, and I want to do it myself. So if that's you want to install some LED underglow on your vehicle, I'm going to show you the few things I'm doing here to get this installed on my truck. The remote comes with the LED lights, and I believe this set also, there may be an app for my phone, so I'll see about that here and post some information about that too, if I can. But a remote does come with the lights, so you should be able to turn it on and off and turn it through some of the settings and the different colors. So kind of nice, but I like hooking it up so that it's pigtailed off a fuse. Let me show you that. All right, so these are the things I got off of Amazon that will kind of pigtail off one of your fuses. You install this instead, you install the original fuse, and you also install the second fuse that is going to work for power to this. So I will connect this together, and then I will bolt the black wire to just a ground bolt in here. I think I used this flathead on the frame last time. Seemed to work good. I don't think I really had any problems with that, so I think I'll just do that again. I'm not really into automobiles in that I have a lot of knowledge about them, so I don't know where else I can use a ground. And the thing about this is it is on kind of a painted surface, but I just really wrapped the wire around this flathead that I have right here on the body, and I tighten it down. So again, it worked for me last time, so I'm gonna do the same thing. But what would a Waylon's Works video be if it didn't have a blunder? Well, I should have gone ahead and attached. I've got something in here that will turn my, let's see, I'll dump that out. This piece here will actually turn this into an easy connect into this pigtail. But it would have been easier to do that on my workbench. Too late now. I'll have to do it here. All right, so I do wish I had done this on the workbench, but I'm gonna go ahead and slide this sleeve over. There's actually, once you put that sleeve and get the connector on, you'll be able to push this together and install the connector. So this can come and go, or this can come off and this can stay. I just pulled this back out of here. I wasn't sure when I'd get the new set installed. Pulled off the old set, clipped all the zip ties I had everywhere and got them down so that I could free and clear install this today. So this is just simple. I'm no pro at some of this. I don't have all the exact tools, but I'm gonna go ahead and bend this over to add some more stoutness. These are very tiny wires. I almost wish they had the part to the battery to be a little bit more stout than this, but larger gauge, but these work. And of course I don't have proper crimping tool, so this will also have to work. Actually, I think I'm gonna need some needle nose. I was looking for my needle nose, but I didn't see them. I realized I thought these would crimp, but not in that kind of small tight space I need. So anyways, don't go anywhere. I did want to make sure that they fit, but so this is the first set. I dropped that cable down in front of the wheel well, like I said. It's got double-sided tape on it, so I will clean my surface with rubbing alcohol. I've already cleaned the front one. I got started and I said, man, I should put this on camera for those who may need to do this later. And I made sure it reached, so then I put this wire so far. I'm here. What I'm going to do is get it over moving parts. I do need to get this above here. You want it attached at least to the frame, something that doesn't move up and down with the wheels. I've got a couple holes that I will zip tie it to. You see one back there. I'll put the wire up there and right there, and I'll zip tie it, and I will maintain clearance. And then this, I'm going to go ahead and put on my running boards. That's where I did last time. So pretty much right here, and I will let it go all the way down the running board. And it does reach. I wanted to make sure before I got started. So I will clean the side of my running board surface here, and I will run this down the side there. And I have plenty of cable. I'm going to have to figure out how to zip tie it up. So I'm going to start in the front here. I'm going to go ahead and apply the tape of this LED strip to right under my bumper. And then I'll know where exactly and how much of that cable I can pull, how far back I can go on the side with the other strip. All right, so for me, I have this little lip here on the underside of the front bumper. It holds it perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the double-sided tape off of this strip and hang it right up here. One way I like to do it, kind of see how far you want to go on each side. I try to make it even with the best I can. And then, I like it there. I already cleaned this with rubbing alcohol before I started filming. I'm gonna hold it with one hand here, pull this tape. I don't want to pull all the tape off. I don't want to risk getting anything on the tape. So I'm going to pull just the end, lay it where I want, like that, and then I will grab this backing strip off the tape and move it just a little by little like this, while I press firmly. One thing that helps is that I get it pretty straight. And again, I do not risk getting that stuff yucky, so it won't stick. Boom. Now I know how much slack I can pull this through. I'll find places to zip tie it up so that it can't snag, and also it doesn't move or get pinched as the wheels move up and down. Over here, I'll be able to pull some of this back up towards the engine and maybe make a zip tie. Might not even have to. If it just pulls up and it stays up and out of the way, I don't have to use any zip ties in that area. So that's how I begin. I'm going to pull this cable back, clean off that surface over there on that running board, and install the next set. All right, so I just wiped this down with rubbing alcohol. Since I'm going to install both on the running boards, 1, 2, 3. I think I'll just start at that third hole. Not doing any measurements to make sure both sides are, at the exact same spot. Now, if I didn't have running boards, you could kind of put it up here. You could put it up there. Maybe even inside this lip. It depends on how you want the glow to work. Anyways, so since I'm gonna run it up here, I'm ready to install it. I'll remove just this backing of the tape here at this side. Pull it back a little, decide where I want to start, right about there, and then just pull the backing tape. Try to use my hand as a guide to get it as straight as possible. With the amount of space there, I'm not too critical. This is my technique to help keep it pretty straight. Make sure you press firmly. Yep, I got it clean that far. Oh, awesome. Cool. Pretty straight. You can tell I went down a little bit right there, but This is just gonna glow. Being a little bit, you know, not perfect is nobody's ever gonna know. All right. So that's firmly pressed. That 3M tape works pretty good. The other one was, all four were still attached pretty well. I do recommend rubbing alcohol to get all the dust and debris off so it sticks really good. Okay. And any oil and stuff like that. So that's that. Now I can decide where to run my cables. I will probably go ahead and, like I said, zip tie it up against the frame where it doesn't move. And maybe I should have just brought it up over that, but too late now. This will be good. This is where I had it last time. So it worked. All right, so I think see, I tried to go up under the wheel well. If you could have gone through the wheel well, I recommend it. I was trying to feed it and doing it all by myself was kind of hard. So also if you find a friend to help, because now I'm looking at all the extra wire space that I have and could have got it away from all of these wheel parts, but I'm going to zip tie it up to this frame. Put down my zip ties. All right, there. Yeah, because that would have be nice not to have to be doing this. That's a little tough there, but that won't. This stuff doesn't move. Yeah, I probably could have gone through that too. So, anyways, I'm gonna double this up and put another zip tie there. And then I'm going to move around to the other side and zip tie it on the other side. Yeah, so I really wish I had just taken this above. So this stuff is going to be hanging down, and since it isn't done by connector, that might have been one way. I had an advantage with the connector parts is I could get these up and then worried about where the wires went afterwards. So now that I've taped this up, because I thought I was going to have a good place to hang this, I really wish I'd gone over here and got these wires up out of the way. I'm going to find another place to try to zip tie this. But just FYI, if you can get these, yeah, I at least have something up here I can zip tie it to. If you can get these wires up and over stuff, you'll do yourself service. So anyways, I just don't like to think that if I hit something like a tree branch or, you know, just brushes or something like that, that it would snag it. So anyways, try to get it up over there. This would have fit up over this part right here. And so anyways, I got one more zip tie left over here. I think I got, there is, yes, some stout ground cable posted to the frame here. I'm gonna just zip tie it around there, and it will at least hold that stuff up a bit. This is always optimal work conditions. All right, so yes, yeah, so it is what it is. Keep that in mind if you're going to do this. Find a place to go ahead and get this stuff up and out of the way instead of what I just did. Okay, so if you're going to do this, I just learned that I should have started with the farthest back one. Tried to run it through. So what I got this installed up here. I went about, like I said, 3 holes on the running board, and I ran it down. And then I went ahead and glued the cable, followed brake lines, and went up and over the rear tire. Then I got it down this far and realized that I actually was short. I had to start the lights over here. So instead of being able to get it just on that back bumper, I had to actually bring it up right here a little bit. Oh, where is it? I had to bring it up right here. Start it there because I didn't have enough cable length. So everything's up and out of the way. Anyways, I had more cable slack towards the front. So here I have this cable slack that I'll just draw up. What I should have done was actually had this set on the running board, just stretched back a little bit further, then I would have had more cable for the very back lights. So start with the very back lights. So I've got all the lights installed now, and that extra cable that I had down here, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the slack up through the wheel well. Voila. Okay. So, yeah, all the cables are up and out of the way, none hanging to get caught on anything, and none in pinch points, and none attached to things that are actually going to move with the struts and shocks. So now that I got all the lights installed, I'm ready to plug them in. Okay, so now I've got the control box, pulled up the cables. I'm going to zip tie that up here in a minute. There was no need to undo this. It's even got a little double-sided tape this time, so that's cool. The last one, the way it worked, I actually had to have the box a little bit lower and had to zip tie it to some stuff down there. It was probably closer to the engine and maybe got hot, and so maybe part of why it malfunctioned. But this time I'm going to be able to keep this up closer, so I am preferring this. I am preferring this design better, so we'll see how it works. What I'm going to do is pull the fuse for injector A odd. Let's see. And maybe, so what I'm trying to do is just find something that doesn't come on until I turn the engine on. And then I think the other thing was a particular place I could fit this last time. So this is actually where I used it last time. Seemed to work just fine. 48 is the horn. Let's see, where's that located? Over there. Oh, but will that only apply when I go to press the horn and the lights come on? That'd be funny. Maybe I'll try it. The horn seems like a little bit of a safer spot than some injector A odds. Anyway, so let's see. The horn is 48, a 15 amp. Okay. Let's try it. Let's try it there. I don't know if that only applies when you press the horn button, so let's see. So first you have to reinstall the 15 amp into the lower. The wind's gonna blow my stuff away. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use a 20 amp for the lights. There you go. And I'm gonna plug this back in to the 15 spot. And now I'm gonna pull this bolt. It's just a flathead attached to the body. I don't remember. It may have actually been something I added myself, come to think of it. The battery is all the way on the other side, so I can't find a negative spot. A bug. Yeah, I'm just going to reattach that bolt. It seemed to work last time. There's paint on the body, so it's not ideal for a ground, I know, but I don't have a lot of options, and I definitely like using this pigtail. So I'm going to get this just wrapped around that bolt. Okay, so like I said, I've just bolted it to the frame or to the body. It's not frame ground, it's just works for me as the negative on there. So it did work before in the last setup, so I assume that'll be fine. Okay, so that wire, this wire, I'm going to pull these up together. These are the wires from the lights underneath. I'm going to go ahead and double all this over and put a zip tie on it. Okay, now I believe I'm ready to go. See if I can get them to come on and to see if that spot for the horn works. Right, so got the truck on. I'm gonna have to climb underneath and see if I got any lights. Do not. So I'm gonna turn the truck off. And I'm going to try this in another spot within the horn. Because maybe it's only when you push the horn that power goes through the horn. That makes sense. I just thought I'd try it. I wasn't sure if it was before the horn, it's button, or after. Oh no. I think I put away my tool for pulling these. Let's see. Oh, flathead. Maybe. All right. Only problem with once you get a couple little fuses in this pigtail thing, it's hard to really grab hold of them. So I'm gonna get a better tool. Aha! What better than a knife? I'll get a little bit more of a flat edge in here and kind of pry it up between the fuse. Maybe. Huh. Awesome. Well, let me pull this 20 amp fuse first. There we go. Because I got to put the 15 amp fuse back, and then I'm going to use that 20 amp fuse spot I used previously with the last set for the injector. Okay. Yowza. All right, yeah, well, everything's still intact. Put this 15 amp fuse back for the horn, and I'm going to pull this 20 amp fuse, install it, use another 20 amp fuse for the lights. All right, and install this in that place. This thing works because it sets right over other fuses. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can get a closer look. Anyways. All right, so let's fire it up and see what happens. Awesome. Okay, red light's on all around, although this remote is not making any changes. So I'm gonna have to see what's going on with that. Okay, so the lights are on, that spot works, they're on red right now, and this remote is not doing anything for me to change the lights around. So I'm gonna head to some instructions, find out if I have an app, and see if I can get some information for you about that before we end this video. Okay, got it working. I'll show you underneath. The remote does work. I ended up having to turn the truck off and back on. What I did first was installed the app. It's a GoV Home. In the instructions, tells you what app to get. So I was able to find the lights via Bluetooth using the model number that was in the instructions. So, but it wasn't Bluetoothing. It wasn't finding them. So I turned the truck back off, turned it back on. Then I was actually able to use the remote to adjust everything also, and the Bluetooth device was able to be found. So turning it off and back on one more time made the difference for me. I'll show you underneath real quick what the lights look like and how easy it is to change colors. And then it looks like through the app I'll be able to play with some things there too. So let's see. All right, so with the remote, it lets you know that A, powers them on and off, B, makes them brighter, and then C, changes the colors, and then D will put a different type of theme on. So, although right now it just seems to be changing colors, but play with it, use the app and see what you can get. I like bright green for now. By the way, be warned, I was pulled over by a law officer who ended up telling me I had a headlight out, so I replaced it, and he also told me I was not allowed to use blue or red. So keep that in mind. Again, this is not the instructions of a seasoned mechanic, automobile electronic expert, but I have a little bit of an electronic background and I like lights under my truck. So this is my process in getting them installed and the ones I used, and giving you some insight on what kind of mistakes not to make. So good luck. Thanks for watching.